How Reggie Miller tried to hide millions during his divorce is honestly as wild a story as can get. Once word got out that he was secretly stashing money, it became the talk of the NBA world. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more out of pocket, he was suddenly facing allegations involving his neighbor's wife. Like, seriously, how much crazier can it get? All right, so let's rewind a bit and break down how all this drama with Reggie Miller even started in the first place.
The Indiana Pacers select Reggie Miller.
And play the better, and this guy was just unstoppable.
Reggie was so clutch, he wanted the ball in his hands, and he had a unique ability to draw fouls, so he's always able to keep the defense off balance.
Back in 1992, Miller married actress Marita Stavro. Things seemed fine for a while, but by 2001, their marriage had hit the end of the road. That's when the real chaos kicked off. The divorce wasn't some clean, quiet split. It turned into a full-on mess. Stavro claimed that Miller wasn't playing fair when it came to the money. According to her, he was trying to hide assets just to make sure she'd get less in the settlement. She even said that he gave out big gifts to friends and close associates, all to move money around and make it look like he didn't have as much as he really did. But that's not all. The timing of it all made things even sketchier. Just days before Miller signed a massive $36 million contract with the Indiana Pacers, he filed for divorce. To Stavro's legal team, that move didn't seem random. They saw it as a calculated way to keep that new deal out of the settlement picture. Now, of course, Miller didn't just sit back and let those claims fly without a response. His legal team pushed back hard, saying that everything was being handled according to the prenuptial agreement they had in place. They said he had already paid Stavro $5 million, just like the prenup required, and that he was also contributing annually to a fund that was meant to support her. And while all that was already wild enough to keep the tabloids busy, his life somehow took an even crazier turn a few years later. Fast forward to 2009, Miller found himself right in the middle of a whole new controversy, this time involving his own neighbor. That neighbor, Alexander von Furstenberg. The problem? Von Furstenberg accused Miller of getting a little too friendly with his fiancée, Allie Kay. Apparently, it got so tense that von Furstenberg confronted Miller and even threatened him. Things escalated fast, and Miller ended up getting a temporary restraining order against him. But here's the thing, neither of them showed up to court when it was time to sort it out. That led to the restraining order being dismissed, which pretty much told everyone that the whole thing had likely been handled quietly behind the scenes. Sure, things got messy off the court for Reggie, but on the basketball court, completely different story. From the moment he was drafted, he was calm, focused, and all business. Even though some people doubted the Pacers' pick, he quickly showed he was more than worth it. So let's rewind the clock and trace how Miller became one of the most iconic players in NBA history. It all started in 1987. The Indiana Pacers had the 11th pick in the draft, and they used it to select Reggie Miller. Many Pacers fans were hoping for Indiana native and college star Steve Alford, and they made their disappointment loud and clear by booing Pacers president Donnie Walsh during the draft. But Walsh saw something in Miller that the crowd didn't yet, and it didn't take long for Reggie to start proving he was the right pick. He started out wearing number 31, backing up veteran John Long. But before long, Miller began to find his rhythm and earn more minutes. As the seasons went by, Reggie developed into a key part of the team and helped turn the Pacers into regular playoff contenders. By the time Chuck Person was traded in 1992, Miller stepped up as the team's go-to scorer, and he didn't disappoint. That same year, on November 28, 1992, Miller dropped a career-high 57 points against the Charlotte Hornets. It was a wild performance. He shot 16 of 29 from the field, nailed 21 of 23 free throws, and hit 4 threes. It was the second highest scoring game in the league that season, only behind Michael Jordan's 64. And to this day, it's still the highest scoring game in Pacers NBA history. But Miller's real breakout moment came in the 1994 Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks. In Game 5 at Madison Square Garden, he absolutely took over in the fourth quarter, scoring 25 of his 39 points in that frame alone. He was sinking threes, taunting the Knicks, and famously talking trash with superfan Spike Lee, who was losing his mind courtside. It was pure Reggie, clutch, confident, and completely unbothered. The Pacers took a 3-2 series lead, but they couldn't close it out and lost in 7. The very next year, Reggie came back with another iconic moment. Game 1 of the 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals. Again against the Knicks, again at the Garden. The Pacers were down 6 with less than 20 seconds left. Then in just 8.9 seconds, Reggie did the unthinkable. He hit a three, stole the inbound pass, hit another three, and then sank 2 clutch free throws to steal the game, 107-105. The Knicks were stunned, the crowd was silent, and Reggie's legend grew even bigger. The Pacers kept knocking on the door. In 1998, they took on Michael Jordan's Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. The series was intense, and Miller had another shining moment in Game 4, drilling a game-winning three with less than a second left, right after shaking free from Jordan himself. Indiana pushed the Bulls to a tough Game 7, but ultimately, Chicago held on and moved on to win their 6th championship. After Jordan retired, the East felt wide open. In the lockout-shortened 1999 season, the Pacers were seen as one of the favorites. But once again, the Knicks stood in the way. This time, they were the 8th seed and pulled off a huge upset, knocking the Pacers out in 6 games. Miller had a rough Game 6, shooting just 3 for 18 and scoring only 8 points. Still, the Pacers regrouped and came back strong in 2000. In the playoffs, Reggie and Jalen Rose both scored 40 in Game 1 against the Sixers, setting a record for the highest-scoring teammate duo in a playoff game. Indiana reached the Eastern Conference Finals again, facing, you guessed it, the Knicks. And this time they got the job done. In Game 6, Reggie poured in 34 points, 17 in the fourth quarter alone, to finally knock New York out and send the Pacers to their first-ever NBA Finals. Waiting for them were the Los Angeles Lakers, led by Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. It was a tough matchup, and though Reggie averaged over 24 points per game, the Pacers lost the series in 6. It would be the closest Miller would ever get to an NBA championship. In the years that followed, Reggie kept showing why he was one of the league's most clutch performers. In the 2001 playoffs, he hit a game-winning three against the Sixers with 2.9 seconds left in Game 1. In 2002, he nearly knocked out the top-seeded New Jersey Nets by himself, hitting a 40-foot buzzer beater to force overtime, and later slamming a dunk over 3 defenders to send the game to double OT. The Pacers came up short again, but Miller's clutch gene was on full display. As the 2000s rolled on, Reggie began passing the torch to a new team leader, All-Star Jermaine O'Neal. But Miller still had his moments. In 2005, after the infamous Pacers-Pistons brawl left the team shorthanded, Miller stepped up and averaged nearly 20 points per game for stretches. At 39 years old, he dropped 39 points on the Lakers, reminding everyone that he still had it. That same season, Reggie decided it would be his last. His sister Cheryl, now a reporter for TNT, broke the news on air. On April 11, 2005, he passed Jerry West to move into 12th place on the NBA's all-time scoring list. And on May 19th, in Game 6 of the playoffs against the Pistons, Miller played his final game. He scored 27 points and left the court to a standing ovation from fans and even the opposing team. Pistons coach Larry Brown called a timeout just so everyone could honor Miller one last time. It was a moment of pure respect and admiration for a true legend. In total, Reggie Miller spent 18 seasons with the Pacers, his entire career. He played 1,389 games and made over $105 million in salary. He became one of the best shooters in NBA history, joining the exclusive 50-40-90 club and setting the record for most career three-pointers at the time of his retirement, with 2,560. That record was eventually broken by Ray Allen and later by Stephen Curry, but Miller paved the way. He's also one of just 7 players in league history to spend 18 or more seasons with one franchise. And Antoine, The Athletic, named him the 47th greatest player in NBA history as part of the league's 75th anniversary. That wraps up today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an update. We'll see you again soon. Take care.